Hi, I'm Gabriel, and this is Learning English Path. And in this lesson, I'm going to teach you parts of speech. You know, I've made so many videos on vocabulary and grammar, and in those videos, I talk about different parts of speech, right? Nouns, verbs, we'll get into them later on. But I've realized that I haven't actually made a video that talks about the different parts of speech. And so in this video, I'm going to go through the main groups of these parts of speech, the 10 groups that are generally accepted as the parts of speech. Okay, so we'll talk a little bit about them, and I'll give you some examples as well. But before that, I do just want to recommend that you join the English Speaking Club. This is a club where you get to talk with me on WhatsApp every single day, and other English learners who are also in the group as well. And we are growing now, and we're learning lots of English. You get to actually use your voice to speak and practice your fluency, and I will correct your grammar, your pronunciation, teach you vocabulary, and 4 times a month you will get a 1-hour live video lesson as well. And it's just so fun, you know, to meet different people from around the world and support each other in English learning. And that is what Learning English Path is all about. And you get all of that for less than $1 a day, okay? $29 a month. Or if you want to pay for a whole year, $248 for that when you save a lot of money. And the link is right here, and it's in the description as well. All right, so let's get to these words. Noun. A noun is basically a thing, all right? And it's the kind of word that you would put here in this sentence. So that is a blah, or that is the blah, or maybe just that is blah, 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 okay? So a concrete noun would be something like a chair, right? Something physical, something you can touch. This is a concrete noun. So you would say that is a chair. That is the chair. You could also, a noun can also be people. So brother is a noun, all right? And different people, like you could say doctor. Doctor is a noun, all right? Also places. So France. This is a proper noun. So if it's a name, so maybe something like Gabriel or France, this is a proper noun because we capitalize it and it's actually a name of something. And then we have abstract nouns. So an abstract noun is not physical. It's not concrete. It's not something you can touch. It's something like freedom. So you would say that is freedom or my freedom, right? And it's still a noun because it's referring to something, but it is not a concrete noun. So it's an abstract noun. And verb. All right. So this is an extremely important kind of word. It's a doing word, right? So I can, I can't, or I am doing something. They come in all different forms. And by the way, the 2 most important parts of speech, generally accepted, also in my opinion, are nouns and verbs. With nouns, you can, let's say you go to an English-speaking country and all you know are nouns. You don't know any verbs. You don't know any other kinds of words. You only know nouns. People will probably understand most of what you're trying to communicate. If you come up to someone and say, brother chair, then they might understand, like, oh, so your brother is on the chair, or your brother is sitting on the chair, right? Or my brother is sitting on the chair. It's not going to make perfect sense, but people can kind of understand that. But if you don't know any nouns, let's just say you only know verbs. You could say sit. Then you don't get that the person is trying to say that their brother is sitting on the chair, right? You don't have much chance. Nevertheless, a verb is extremely important because you technically cannot have an English sentence without a verb, all right? Not a full, proper sentence. You can say things like yes, no, okay, right? These are responses, and they're not full sentences. They are elliptical sentences. And if you don't know what elliptical sentences are, or an ellipsis, check out my videos on that. I have 3 videos on elliptical sentences. But a verb needs to be in a full sentence, whether it's something as simple as the verb to be, right? So is, are, am. This is a very common auxiliary verb. We then have verbs like jump, run. They can be changed into other forms, right? Jumping, running, jumped, ran. All right? And then we have really complicated verbs like pontificate. If you pontificate, you think about something and talk about it as you're thinking. All right, so verbs, very important. Then we have adjectives. And adjectives are describing words, words that describe nouns. So it is very blah, blah, blah. This would be a predicative adjective would go here, all right? So something like beautiful or green. All colors are adjectives because colors describe things. Nationalities are adjectives because they describe a person, where someone is from, all right? So it is very American. It is very green. It is very beautiful. These are all predicative adjectives. You can also have different kinds of adjectives, like attributive adjectives. So if you say the green grass, then in this case, green is an attribute of grass, and so it's an attributive adjective. You can also have nominal adjectives, and these work almost as nouns. So for example, if there are a lot of pencils in front of me and they're all different colors and I have to make a choice, which pencil do I want? I could say, I want the green, right? Just I want the green. And we understand that this is talking about the green pencil. So it's almost used like a noun, even though it's still an adjective. So these would be nominal adjectives. Right? The next one is an adverb. And adverbs modify adjectives, verbs, or even other adverbs. And these are words like well. So maybe I play football well. I speak English well, right? Or you could even, there are all these adverbs ending in ly as well, right? Like happily, sadly, many words like that. But then you have a lot of different kinds of adverbs. You have adverbs of degree. You have adverbs of frequency. You have adverbs of possibility, right? There are lots of different kinds of adverbs that modify other adjectives and verbs. Then we have prepositions. Prepositions are words that relate other words to each other, either by place or by time or by cause. cause and effect, or even by movement or direction, right? So on, something like on, in, under, behind, in front of, above, below, right? These are all prepositions of place. Then we have a word that could be a preposition of time, like about. So it's about 5 o'clock. Or even other kinds of prepositions, like, what is the book about? It's about blah, 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 right? And then we have a word like through, which would refer to movement, like go through the tunnel. So, or I'm going through a hard time, right? These kinds of prepositions. Then we have pronouns, and pronouns are substitutes for nouns or noun phrases. So instead of saying Gabriel, you might say he. He is Gabriel. Or this kind of pronoun. In fact, there's lots of different kinds of pronouns, and he would be an example of a personal pronoun. So it would be he, she, I, we, it, they, we, right? And then you would have object pronouns. So personal pronouns are also subject pronouns because they begin a sentence. They are a subject, or they begin a clause. But object pronouns, in an active sentence, they would come at the end, right? So it would be her, him, us, them. And then we have, this is a reflexive pronoun. Herself, himself, myself, yourself, itself, yourselves, themselves, right? Ourselves. And then everyone would be an example of an indefinite pronoun. It's indefinite because we don't know exactly who everyone is, right? So everyone or anybody, anything, all, both, each, right? These are all indefinite pronouns. You also have possessive pronouns like mine, ours, yours, hers, his, theirs. And you even have a rare class called archaic pronouns. And these are really old pronouns. Thou, thee, thy, thine. We don't use these anymore. But there are other ones as well that maybe I'm going to have to do a whole video on pronouns in the future because there are ones that I didn't even mention in this video. There are relative pronouns, interrogative pronouns, so many different kinds of pronouns. Then we have a conjunction, and a conjunction is a connector, right? It's words like and, but, or, yet, so, for, all right? And those are coordinating conjunctions. But then we have subordinating or subordinate conjunctions like since, though, unless, whereas, whenever, until, although. Okay, so they're still connecting words, but they are a part of a subordinate clause. All right? So those are conjunctions. An article is simply a, un, and the, right? They have their own category because they refer to, they are a marker of definiteness or indefiniteness. And then I should mention these together, articles and demonstratives. A demonstrative is also a marker of definiteness or indefiniteness, and it's this, that, these, those. And sometimes articles and demonstratives are put together as determiners, all right? So you might use them, you might put them into the same category. And our final category is interjection. All right, so these are expressions and markers, usually of feelings and emotions. So these are things like oh, which is an emotive interjection, and wow, another emotive interjection. Then we have volative ones. Volative ones are kind of directions or demands, like or imperatives, like shh. So shh means be quiet. And then we have and also bye. Bye would be another example of an interjection, a volative interjection. Then we have cognitive ones. Cognitive ones are words like all right, so words that show that see, there we go. I say too much. They show that you're thinking about something. So you're trying to think of what the next thing is to say. These are all interjections, and there are many of them as well. I should do a separate video on interjections as well. All right, hope you got something from that. And if you don't want to join the English speaking club, at least check out this 101 Songs to Learn English, your free PDF guide to learning lots of new English. You just get sent it straight to your email. The link for that is in the description as well. And please do subscribe and give this video a like if you like it. Click that notification bell. Keep learning, my friend, and keep going.